Hello again, everybody from Nationwide Arena. Tom Reed with our columnist Michael Arace. Aaron Portzline, gentlemen, we just witnessed one that probably won't be remembered for a long time as far as aesthetics. But the Blue Jackets do find a way to win 2-0 with 2 third-period goals, one from Oliver Brockstrand, a beauty top-shelf shot. Yes. Cam Atkinson gets his 30th goal of the season, empty netter. 2 in a row, 7-2 in 1 of the last 10. Aaron, your thoughts?
You buried the lead.
What's that? I'm sorry.
Sergei Bobrovsky, 3 straight shutouts.
Oh, yes. We're going to get that with Mike.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Is that his topic? Oh, yeah.
Let's just back off.
John Tortorella referred to the game Sunday in New Jersey as throwing mud at each other. They were throwing mud at each other. There was more mudslinging here tonight. It was ugly for 40 periods.
They couldn't pick the mud up without falling down.
Oh, it was just...
First period was...
awful hockey. And, I mean, it's sort of what the Devils do. You cannot look good against that team when they're playing the way they want to play. They take no chances offensively. They had 3-on-2 rushes, and the puck just ends up in the corner of the rink, and no one seems to care. They had a 3-on-2 developing at the end of the second period, and the guy who would have been the third guy, the trailer, just went up for a line change with 6 seconds to go. Like, we don't need to do that. We don't need to score.
Well, here's the thing. You say that, and they had 16 shots in the first period.
Yes.
No less than 5 golden scoring opportunities, quality scoring opportunities. Yep. And that's the Devils, and they average
27
shots a game.
Lowest in
they
the
had
league.
16 in the... So that tells you how the Jackets sort of dozed into this, you know?
And it
stuck a toe in.
Right. It could have been different, too, had Sergei Bobrovsky not continued.
He was really good in the first period.
Play.
Yep. He was awesome.
And your thoughts, you've got a chance to watch him recently. Is this as well as you've seen him play for over a short stretch of time?
3 consecutive shutouts.
Not too bad.
Yeah. And they've needed him every time. And you got to remember the other one was that Unis, the 1-0 loss.
What are you cackling at? What are you cackling
Montreal.
about?
The last goal he allowed was an overtime goal in Montreal.
Yeah,
it's incredible. The streak and refresh me that game in Montreal.
Yes,
ended somewhat controversial. I mean the streak itself is incredible. Think of where we could be with this thing.
No, the phantom holding call on Seth.
I mean, that's holy smokes, yeah.
That was the next night the hockey gods evened it, right? Yes. They got a call and one, or non-call and one,
This is it wasn't long ago. This team was like, they might fall into the first wild card spot.
Right.
Aaron, they're 5 points out of the top spot in the league right now.
Yes.
They have 90 points.
They have 90 points.
Yeah, third time in franchise history.
17 to go? 16 or 17?
This is 65, yes. Yeah.
Another continuing story, and, we heard John Tortorella all season, early in the year, say, I'm really disappointed that Oliver Brockstrand did not make this team. Time in and time out, I'm like, okay, we get your point.
He had him penciled in, he said tonight.
Well, you know what? The more you hear it and the more you watch this kid play, you understand what he was saying because, boy, he scores some beautiful goals.
Sure. And he's 4-3-7 plus 6 in 10 games since the call-up. 2 of them game winners, the second one tonight.
Yeah.
Look what he did last year in Cleveland, where he was not very good for the first 30, 40 games.
Tortorella watched that whole playoff series, and we saw a lot of it.
Yes.
And Bjorkstrand was terrific. I mean, he was just terrific. He was an
MVP.
Scoring machine. Yes.
And what was amazing about that goal tonight is the way that you guys accurately described this game. You thought it might be a triple deflection off somebody's helmet and into the net. It wasn't. It was a beautiful top shelf shot on a nice setup by Sam Gagner, who finally has got his game going a little bit too.
I was talking to Freddie Modine in the hallway after the second period. I said, "Can we just go to the 10th round of the shootout right now? Like, this is unbelievable." He was like, I mean, Gagner had a wonderful setup. Bjorkstrand is in one of those moods right now. The goal he scored tonight was not unlike the goal he scored in Jersey. Kind of going left to right. He's coming in from the right dot. I don't know what it is. I've had Tortorella and a couple of players describe it. Goaltenders have a really, really hard time reading when he's going to unload the puck. It's a really quick shot. There's something about the way he has the puck out in front of him, where it's a quick snapper, but he doesn't show it before it's gone. It's very deceptive. I mean, the book's not out on this guy around the league yet either. He's only played so few games. But he is really, at this time of year, when you think, like, the Blue Jackets are firmly in a playoff spot. They went through that lull. And we've talked, like, you had a great story today about the meeting that they had and how that cleared the air. I also think you need stories like this, a guy that comes up and just sort of breathes life into the whole thing. And Tortorella now has a guy he can stick in the first line or the third or fourth line, whatever it is. He's got pieces, parts he can move around. He's really brought Bjorkstrand a very interesting variable.
It's almost like adding somebody at the trade deadline.
He said exactly that tonight.
A goal scorer. And Rashi, you wrote about this about a week or so ago. About at the time the thought was, well, Oliver Bjorkstrand has to play on that side. He has to play on a skill line. Now we're seeing him play a little bit lower in the lineup and still playing pretty well.
And the column I wrote was, what's the thinking behind putting Oliver Bjorkstrand on the skill line and dropping Brandon Saad to the fourth line? I just thought that, I had a little fun with that. So, but the kid's been great. I'd be foolish to call the fourth line, especially now. Actually, that fourth line's playing really well.
Is it even the fourth line now?
Saad was back up on the top line, and Bjorkstrand's found a home with those two guys. So it's like, it's a good player.
It's a weird science with lines, isn't it? Because, like, who would think Hartnell, Gagne, Bjorkstrand? What a line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they didn't like Gagne in the middle. Now he looks great in the middle.
Well, Tortorella said he wanted Saad to play with a give-and-go guy like Gagne. And then, of course, you got Hartnell on the wall. It seems like a good mix.
Right.
Well, it's working with Bjorkstrand. But
and now Gagne looks like a centerman. I didn't see what he did face-off-wise tonight, but he's never been good historically.
At home, they were trotting Dubiot a lot. I haven't seen the stats, but
I think one thing that's helped Gagne. Obviously you hate to see anyone get hurt with Sedlak getting hurt, though.
Right.
I think in talking with him when he was really mired in this slump, and it finally ended, it was 30 games, but even before that, I mean, I think he had 10 points in those 30 games.
Yeah.
He was talking about not moving his feet. And I was saying, you're almost describing to me what a center would do. Like you're getting around, getting around the ice, having to do a lot of things, getting your feet moving. And since he's moved back to center, I think his game's been better.
He looked fast tonight.
Yeah.
Like, not a lot of people look fast tonight. It was just not that kind of game. But there were a couple of instances where he looked like he really had his speed. He's one of those guys that gets in bunches too. He always has.
Yeah.
And Bjorkstrand, slow start last year, slow start this year. Gagne's had really slow starts. He's had long stretches where he hasn't put up points throughout his career. It was at the start of the season last year in Philadelphia. But yeah, they're rolling now.
All right, Friday night, Buffalo is in town.
That'll be a hoot.
For a home and home.
Yeah.
With the Sabres, the young Sabres, Jack Eichel.
Tom, how do you handle the goalies for that home and home, back to back?
Well, I would have to think. I don't know if you could either way. Start Bob at home.
2 days off, Bob at home.
And then Korpisalo on Saturday. I promised by then I did not dress like this coming to the game tonight. I got caught out in the rain, and I have a Quebec shirt on.
So you just stripped.
I just stripped down.
This stuff's drying back there.
But if Bob has a perfect first period, no goals allowed. Franchise record, longest streak in the league this year. So something to watch.
He keeps coming up with information. All right, we'll see you Friday night. Keep reading these guys on dispatch.com.